tracking the attitudes of people for thousands of years as to how they differed in differing, zodiacal signs and the influences of the zodiac. And that's all I can offer you because, But anyhow, Aquarius, through ancient times, is known to foster the spirit of rebellion. The spirit of rebellion is a sign of consciousness. It can, of course, be antisocial behavior, and that's part of it. It can be somewhat violent, and basically that is necessary because what it does, it comes up against the traditional competitive mind systems of Pisces and Taurus and so forth, and then sets to overthrow them and bring them down. The Pisces and Taurus are signs which foster community and basically competitiveness and so forth. When you get into Aquarius, you move into a sign which fosters the individual, the thought, the life pattern of the individual. There is a fulfilling, an exodus up from control of the system, religion, and government to control by the self, individual self. And what you'll see, and you'll begin to see it here, and you see it now all over the place, you're finding people are going to, have different Eastern types of things done to them, or prayers or chants, and going up into ashrams and getting into Buddhist things and so forth and so on, because there's an exodus from organized religion. And the reason there's an exodus from organized religion is because organized religion has fulfilled its function. Organized religion's function, basically, in the human psyche, was to set forth the symbols that we would act out and try to learn what they meant so we could move on and acquaint ourselves with the truth that these things represented. What did the Apostle Paul says in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 1? Leaving the principles of the doctrines of Christ, let's go on to perfection. And that's basically what Aquarius does. It challenges you to move away from all of the traditional things that you've been involved in and then move into a whole new individual realm where you're going to be accountable unto yourself. What should we see when the sun is in the sign of man, that with the man with the pitcher of water? What should we see? Basically, as the ancients put it, man will seek within his own heart for the truth that he has sought in vain outside of himself. We had a good crowd this morning. We talked about things I think somewhat inspired, and I had several people stop me and say that the words that flowed were obviously from some cosmic entity which was conveying a truth, and the truth was the escape from the control of the left side in the system to the freedom of the promised land of the right side, and basically it would be fostered in the time of Aquarius because that's what Aquarius will do. Aquarius will bring down the old system so that you'll be free to pursue the new. And it is a system which primes itself on the individual. In Luke 11:52, Jesus Christ says you take away the key of knowledge because you don't enter within yourself. And of course that's again homing in on the individual. It's always difficult for me to understand how religious people cannot put two and two together. They really can, but the point is they can't admit to it for the fact that their entire traditional concept is at stake. Here's Jesus Christ saying, the kingdom of God is within you. The sign Aquarius is the sign of the individual, and Jesus' prophecy of Passover is when you see the man with the pitcher of water. I mean, how is it so hard to understand that this thing is a cosmic event? How could you have God if it wasn't a cosmic event? What would be the sense of it? What are we saying here? Where's it going to come from? Pittsburgh? It has to come from a cosmic event, or it doesn't make any sense. And here's the truth. The second coming of man, the Son of Man, is Aquarius, and it is accompanied by the force, the power, the controlling influence of that which is known as heaven in Greek, that which is known as the coming of the Son of Man, that which you know as the dominating planet of Aquarius, which is Uranus. Uranus. And that's really the power that is displayed in Aquarius, is when Uranus makes its power felt in the scheme of things. So where do we find this? What does Jesus say? What do we understand about Passover? What do we understand about Aquarius? Jesus says in Luke 22:10, when you see the man with the pitcher of water, enter into the house, and he will show you a large upper room furnished. And basically what's being said is in the time of Aquarius, people will enter into themselves. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to have gone to Princeton or MIT or anything else to say to yourself, is this the time of Aquarius? Yes. Are people entering within themselves? You can't help but see it every time you turn a channel. People are meditating. Doctors are practicing holistic medicine. They have meditation rooms in hospitals. Why? Because people are entering within themselves. Why? Because it is the time of the pitcher of water. Isn't that what he says in the Bible? I had a letter from a guy, and I wrote him. I says, this is Aquarius. He wrote back, says, that's ridiculous. He saw the man with the pitcher of water, and this was a code so where the people would know to go into what house. But you can prove that biblically that did not happen because men simply didn't carry pitchers of water in those days. It was a disgrace. Women carried pitchers of water. But anyhow, even to get into an argument about that. What is basically the aspect of Aquarius that you and I, and